Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Personal Mastery Training. Like the name says, if it's your first time listening to this, Personal Mastery Training. It's personal to you. What my goal with this, see, when I was coming up in sports and now in business, in life, guess what I found out? I was my worst enemy. I had to learn over time, and I'm still training, hence the word training, to master the 3-pound mass between my ears. I realized that I did not get the instruction manual to this beautiful, untapped, unbelievable brain, nervous system. I didn't. And in fairness, growing up with a single mom, she didn't get the instruction manual. How am I supposed to get it? Training, personal mastery training. Because when I can master the 3-pound mass between my ears, I realize I've got no enemies because I mastered the most, biggest, baddest enemy, and that's within. So this is what this is all about. I do 2 episodes. A strategy episode. The strategy episode is all about giving you clues, tips, strategies, quotes, dissect them. Sometimes we get quotes and we just throw them to the side. We post them. We don't really look at them. We don't really integrate them. And one of my mentors, I've heard many input from mentors. One said, you can be familiar with a quote, be the change you want to see in the world, or you can become a master. And when you achieve mastery is when you're applying it in your life. So this is what we do in a strategy session. We work towards application. And then the second one I do is a masterclass. Masterclass is where I invite leaders, influencers, authors, people you may not even know about. However, when I look at them, I say, yeah, you're in the arena. You're doing it. You're falling short possibly, but you're still at it. You're not quitting. That's mastery. Because we're not always going to hit the bullseye, but as long as we don't quit. So I get these people on and I invite you, I dissect and share with you what I got from the episode. And I want you to do the same. Just go to work. That's what mastery is all about. It's continuous, never-ending improvement. Kaizen. All right. So here's this episode today. We're going to talk about this. Stop beating yourself up. Stop beating yourself up. Here's where the motivation came. I was helping one of my clients, and I noticed that with my high performance clients, obviously the people who hire me to help them are high performers. Why do I say that? Because they want to get better. Why would you? A lot of people still don't believe in coaching or still don't believe in this woo-woo stuff called personal development. So the ones who hire me get it. They get it that, you know what? I can't see the frame of the picture that I'm in. So I can't see my weaknesses. I'm going to get someone to show me, tell me my breath stinks. Because I don't want to be at that party all up in people's face and no one's telling me because they're being too nice. Someone's got to tell me my breath stinks so I can fix that. So that's what this is all about. So people who hire me are high performers. But here's what I notice. They beat themselves up. They set this bar to attempt to perform at the same level that they did when they were 20. And now they're in their 40s, 50s. They're running high companies. They got a lot of responsibilities, but they're still keeping that bar of, say, on the physical level. They're attempting to be the same 20-year-old physical self, the same time, 2-hour workouts or 1 hour. Or listen, I work out every day. However, here's what I do. I do what I can. I realize my responsibilities. I realize that things have changed and I don't beat myself up. But you see, here's the thing. There's a great quote. The quote says this: if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Have you ever noticed that? You'd think someone with a ton of time sitting at home, not doing much, would easily get things done that you ask them to do. But have you ever asked them to meet you somewhere, do something for you, do a task? No, too busy. Don't have time. However, you go and ask this other person who you think won't have time. They quickly say yes. Okay? Because if you want something done, they're used to executing. So They're setting that bar though. It's a double-edged sword because they set the bar at a high level and they want to achieve almost everything put in front of them. They want to eat it. They want to eat everything. But however, as I said in the intro, they beat themselves up. So I was suggesting to this person, I said, because, think about it for a second. Have you ever berated someone or, someone who's feeling shame and guilt? What does people who feel shame and guilt do? Think about the last time you beat yourself up about not eating right or not working out. Did you actually do more of it? And for how long? You may have done it first that day, but it ends up becoming more shame, more guilt, and you do less and less and less. So it actually doesn't work to beat yourself up. It actually creates shame and guilt, which feeds more of that lack of activity. So what we want to do is we want to flip that. We want to nurture ourselves. We want to be kind to ourselves. This is not a pass to not do something, but it's a help. It's an aid to help you to stop the enemy. There's enough enemies outside. There's enough responsibilities to do. There's enough to get done. We don't need to gang up. And because you see, the enemy outside only lasts for a short time, but the enemy within, 24/7, baby, 24/7. So we want to stop the assault. So I want you to consider a few things that may be at play here. Why you're not performing at the level that you think you should be performing right now in your 30, 40, 50-year-old self, comparing yourself to your 18-year-old, 20-year-old self. When you had a ton of time, less responsibilities, your physiology was different, recovery time was quick, less stresses, less abuse over time of your body, your mind, your spirit. There were so many things that left you freer of mind, freer of body, freer of soul. You're 3-4 decades later. Think about all the responsibilities you have today. Your kids, job, divorce, sickness, death. You've dealt with so many things, traumas, and you still want to perform at a 20-year-old level when things were freer, recovery was better. See, here's the thing. I'm not giving you a pass here, but I want you to consider, to modify, to adjust, to think about what might be affecting me to not being able to execute at the level, and should I be performing at that level? Should I be squatting 600 when I'm in my 50s, 60s, after maybe not even taking care of myself for a while because I was distracted with health, with jobs, with some other responsibilities? Again, it's not a pass. This is just, I want you to consider, because the more you create shame and guilt, the less you will do for yourself to nurture your better self. I want you to stop beating yourself up and just come to reality that, you know what? When I do that new activity, it's going to take me a week at 50 years old, at 30 years old, at 40. It's going to take me a little longer to recover. So I'm going to have to integrate that into my plan, that I need recovery time. I need more sleep. I need to include things like ice bath, saunas. I need to do a bit more. LeBron James realizes that at 38 years old, he's performing at a high level in the NBA. Why? Because he puts investment in his body. He realized that time is a great equalizer. So stop beating yourself up. Here's what I'm getting at now. Wherever you are, think about the things you want to execute, your health goals, your meditation, things for you. What's stopping you from doing it? A few factors. What's your current level of responsibility? How many kids? What have you been through? How's your physiology? There's a great book, and it shows the lifespan. And they say from 0 to 50 is your health span. From 50 plus, it's your disease span. That's where things start to pop up. See, now once you get up to that higher level, you start to notice little injuries take a little longer. But you have to be kind to yourself, adapt. See, I was attempting to run a marathon at my 230 pounds. And I've noticed that every time I got up to about 17K, my calves kept on pulling. So what do I do now? I started to do more elliptical and replace the pounding of the road with something to adapt in between, because I'd rather not be out for 6 weeks attempting to get one goal done and take out all other goals. So I adapted. My outcome was to be in shape, not only to run the marathon. It was a nice goal, but I would give that up to remain consistent. You see, I had to adapt. So think about that. Stop beating yourself up. It's time. Because the more shame and guilt you feel, the less you'll do of the thing that you want to execute on. Shift, adapt. Don't quit. Don't sit back, but adapt. All right? Okay. So I hope that helps, because I had to give that to my client to stop calling himself lazy, stop calling himself underperforming, stop berating himself, because that just led to more and more of him not performing. Start to give yourself the credit you need. When you encourage someone else, you notice they do better. Do the same for yourself. All right. If you know somebody who needs to use this, let's pass this. Let's share this. Let's build this community of people who believe finally, don't want to get through life. I want to get from it. People who believe we all want to come together and get off our treadmill. Look at life. Investigate. Success leaves clues. So does failure. Learn from it and grow. All right. That's it. Until next time. You know why I do this? Because I want you to be relentless about your pursuit for personal mastery, personal greatness. Go to our bio and find out how I can help you get started. And I've received some great messages of this podcast being helpful to others. So you may know somebody who needs it. Let's build a community and start to help support each other on this mastery, this journey of mastery. All right. Until next time. Peace and love. We'll talk.